the Nitrogen Omega. So today we're going to be checking out Nitrogen Omega. To be entirely clear, this is a sponsored segment. They haven't required me to be like, you know, talk up the game or whatever. It's just play the game for a little while. The only unusual ask I have with this sponsorship is because apparently there's like something that happens in the story. They have asked me if I reach a certain point in the game to not continue to avoid spoiling some big thing that happens in the game. I don't know what it is, so I couldn't spoil it for you anyways. So we do get to a point, and I'm just like, even if we're jamming, I kind of hard stop at that point. That's what's going on. They said I am plenty allowed to keep playing after that on another stream. They just don't want it to happen on the sponsored stream. Because clearly they want you to get your teaser that gets you excited for the game. And then, you know, the game is releasing right now, and it's 1.0 and all that good stuff. They want you to check it out and all that good stuff. And, you know, it can be kind of a thing ruining for games when you get, like, the big reveal before you play. So with that said, so we're going to be playing this for the next couple of hours, and to give you an idea of what Nitrogen Omega is, it is a turn-based tactical RPG. And when you hear that, you usually think of like the grid where you move the person behind cover and that kind of stuff. That's not exactly what's going on here. Instead, you have kind of this turn-based slider on the bottom, where it's like you've got your 4 people inside of your mech, and then you've got the enemies, and you kind of go back and forth deciding on that time scale when you're going to do certain things. And then you go to like the next phase of your turn where those things actually happen. So I could be like, okay, you know, turn 1, it says halfway through that the enemy mech's going to move next to me. And I don't want that. It's got big swords. So, you know, I could go, and immediately before that, I could choose to then move away from where it's trying to get to, or do something to counter it. And you can kind of go back and forth with that, and then you play out your turn and see how it goes. I did briefly mess with this just to make sure it started running and all that fine, but I didn't get deeper into it. There is like a main quest and everything. They've got a pretty interesting character editor that we can get into here. And so like you can go in here and make your characters and all that. There's a lot of stuff in here. It is a thing that we could genuinely lose the entire like 2-hour sponsored stream just working on characters. Like genuinely, like it's not that it has a bajillion options to choose from. It's not quite like that, but there is enough to mess with. But the only things that seem to matter, I don't know why they have blood type listed here. It's a weird thing to see there. I don't know if it has any game application stuff, but they've got their birthday, they've got blood type. I think the attitude, that might just literally be how they react to stuff in the game and all that. Like the poses, I don't believe these change anything either, but there's a bunch of stuff there you can do. I'm not going to save that, but you will notice I may have done something off stream as far as things we've got going on here. Let's see, it's a Japanese thing. They treat blood type almost as a horoscope that they can tell people's personality from. Interesting. It's also interesting that you are showing that character again. But yeah, so if you look here, I did actually make 4 characters, which are our Project Zomboid characters that we made really high score runs with. So we got Venus Orozco, who was our fashionista. We've got Ellen Ennis, who is the Dr. Ellen Ennis, who got her degrees and all that. We got Clark Burke, who is the, like, elementary middle school teacher. Obviously, all these characters look really young because anime things. And then you got Jeremiah Weiner, who was the one we set, like, the world record with. So I just made those characters, but it gives you an idea of, like, some of the variants you go in. There's way more wild out there outfits, but I just did that. So what we're going to go ahead and do, though, is we're not going to worry about getting stuck in the character creation forever. There's a lot of cool stuff there, but the focus we want to have is on the actual game and its main story. So we're going to go ahead and go in here. Doctor was gray. I don't... What? So we're going to go ahead and do a single player. We're going to do a new game. What is our team name? Let's see. Less than ethical... Oh, her skin was gray? Oh, yeah, that's fine. Let's see. Less than... ethical mercs. Sure. Alright, so they give us a bunch of randomly generated characters we could go with. Or I could go in here and replace that character with one that we've made ourselves. So I can go in there and do that kind of stuff. I think for our case, I am going to do that versus the randomly generated ones. Now, to be clear, your characters can die. And I also have no idea, whatever. We can apparently change... I didn't realize you could change your starting mech. Okay. So, I don't know what we need to do... Okay, yeah, so with these other mechs, it would skip the tutorial. But needless to say, we're not doing that. They do have like an Iron Man mode, so you can have it where you're committed, you can't save scum or whatever. You can skip the tutorial if you want. There are game settings, which apparently can have random pilots, fill pilots, or whatever in the cities. I don't know what that's about. You can regenerate your pilots and rename your team. But let's go ahead and we'll just start in here. Okay. Many years ago, the rise of artificial intelligence. First slowly, then suddenly. A great war broke out. We lost. That's... okay, doing great. Today, the world is overrun by ruthless machines. Survivors are retreated to the cities built up high. With no hopes to fight back, they wait for the end. Among the last generation of Earth are mercenaries willing to fight the machines. People call them... fools. Okay. Cool. So war happened, and it's just like, we lost. It's like, alright, well, that was concluding. But yeah, so you probably noticed we generated our own characters, and they all got put in the cinematics. So you definitely see this kind of thing throughout the game, where they have all these animated scenes and all that. You'll, like, when you take damage, your character, like, flinch back and all that. And these are characters that you can have procedurally generated, not generative AI, procedurally generated, or that you kind of craft yourself. So it's kind of cool to actually have, like, your own custom-made characters in all the cinematics. That's not new technology with a lot of 3D graphics, but you don't see that very often in, like, the highly animated style of stuff. At least not the games I've ended up playing personally. Oh, this is also interesting. When I did my test last night, I think this version went up by 0.1. Alright. You must be the new crew hired to patrol the island. I think this week we finally have a ship return to the continent for the first time. I can feel it. We just need to keep the radar up and running. We've had a few rabbit sightings lately. How are they even making it across the water to from the mainland? Anyway, head out and patrol the perimeter of the island. If you spot rabbits, drop down, smash them. Exploration. Aboard your airship, you can explore safely away from the machines that roam the wastelands. You can move the airship by clicking and dragging with the mouse. And as a reminder, I do have a link clicked at the top of chat. I don't get a kickback or anything for you clicking it. It's not like you click on that and like I get $5 or anything like that. It just lets the devs know that you found the game through the channel. And that does ultimately help me get future opportunities like this. So just, you know, doing the self-plug, all that stuff. Here's a rabbit. Let's drop down and stomp it. Alright, so... a new crew. Enemies here. We got a contract from Anchorage to patrol the island. It's our first real job as a crew. We can't screw this up, or no one's going to want to hire us. Cool. Let me know if the volume's too high or too low or anything like that. The cinematics amuse me greatly. Okay, so this is kind of the thing that differentiates. It's literally going to tell us, isn't it? All right, this is the timeline. You and your opponents take turns placing orders to plan your actions for the round. The timeline is divided up into 6 segments. Each round, you can assign 1 order to each pilot, and only 1 order can occupy one of your segments. Round phases. Each round has a planning phase and a resolution phase. During the planning phase, you assign the orders to your pilots on the timeline. During the resolution phase, orders are executed based on the position of the timeline. Okay, so we've got our different pilots. So looking at what we've got, we have our driver is Venus Orozco. And so she has the ability to slap things, move to an area, or guard. Moving can move us from, like, if you see like the little compass here, I'm on the east side of the battlefield, the enemy is on the west side. So slap is melee. So it says the target must be in your zone and will do 3 damage. So with that, you know, if I'm over here and I slap, nothing happens because they're not nearby. I'm meleeing the air. But if I were to move over there, I'd be able to slap. And then guard cuts the damage by half. I can also check on my engineer. And right now, all my engineer can do is deploy coolant, which reduces my heat. I don't know where heat is on my UI, but I don't think that's going to be important. We have the... You have just the face for radio, friend. We have my engineer... Sorry, my gunner here, who can shoot the gun, which does 2 damage to a target. Doesn't seem to care about the zones. Or I can reload my bullets when we get low. And then we have the operator, who can scan, reveals all orders played in the segment, as well as the next segment. Takes effect immediately. So that lets me see, like, right now I know they're going to attack. I don't know if they're going to shoot me, melee, slam me, like what, like, we know they're doing something aggressive there, we don't know what it is. So I'm going to start with the very first thing is I'm going to shoot him. And I'm going to shoot him on the very first turn, because I don't have a reason to do anything else. Oh, it says this is the only thing this guy's going to do the whole time. Okay, I think that's what that means. Okay, so what we can do then is if you're only going to attack, you can go to our operator, we can go to orders, we can deploy smoke. Hint, some orders temporarily provide evasion. Evasion avoids all range damage, but won't protect against melee or explosive damage. Okay. So what we can do here is we'll deploy smoke, and that's going to apply for 3 turns, which includes its phase. I'm assuming it's going to shoot at me, because it's not in the same tile as me and it's not moving. So that should prevent me from taking damage from that. Then we'll grab the driver, and I'm going to want to get into melee range in the future, so that next time I can slap it. Oh, okay, so the UI is a little... Alright. So what we can do here then is, it's in the west zone, we're going to move to the west zone. And then for you, I guess, deploy cooling, because that's literally all you can do. We'll have you do that here, I guess. I'm assuming you build up heat and go that. So with that, we've locked in all 4 of our moves. This is like a tutorial battle, so they're definitely giving me a very unfair advantage. So let's go ahead and begin resolution. I'm enjoying the art. The battlefield is divided up into 4 zones. Distance does not matter. Only the zone the mech occupies when the order resolves. For example, melee attacks only hit the targets in the same zone, while explosions will affect all mechs in the zone. These are your mech's hull points. If they reach 0, your mech is defeated, your airship will extract the wreckage and any survivors. This is your mech's heat level. Okay, so it's there. It's the 1, I believe? Or I think, oh, it might be the 1 and the 7. Like, 1 is my heat, 7's the maximum. Many orders increase heat, while others, such as using coolant, reduce it. If heat reaches its maximum, your orders will fail when they resolve. This is your mech's ammo. Weapons consume ammo may require reloading. Some weapons have limited supply of magazines. Oh, that's a rabbit? It's not a cute animal? You're okay with that. Yeah, you start the game out and you immediately just the long dark a little rabbit in your giant mech. Because reasons. Alright, so with this, it's going to try and move on that turn. I'm going to have it so the very first thing we do is our driver is going to open up by slapping it in the face. And you're going to attack that. And we'll go for our next turn. Let's grab our gunner. And we're going to shoot it in the face. And so you're not going to get to do anything else. So let's go to our operator. And we can deploy smoke. And we can do that during the attack, because I assume if it's moving, it's not going to stay in melee range, so it's probably a ranged attack, so smoke will prevent it. And then I guess you just deploy coolant because you literally can't do anything else. Alright. Well, this game is certainly a vibe. Okay, so we've got a leveling mechanic. And apparently our skill level is all F. We are excellent. So we're all F rank in everything we do. And we had fatigue went up. So one would assume every so often I gotta sleep or rest or take time off or whatever's that. We got 50 scrap. We did it! Let's fix up the mech before moving on. Damage sustained in combat must be repaired using scrap. Let's do that now. So we click on the mech. Cost of next stage of repairs. Repair next stage. It'll cost me 25 scrap. And it is fully operational. Looking good. Let's head back to Anchorage. Before we do that, I'm going to take 2 seconds. I'm just worried about being a little on the loud side. Well, to the wish list it goes. Yep. Oh, the Call of Duty meme F for respects. Yeah, that was one of those ones you're like, that's a weird one. Alright, so we're going to Anchorage. Where were you? While you were busy grabbing scraps for yourselves, rabbits attacked the radar. We're safe up here, but the ground insulation took a serious hit. We're holding you responsible for the attack. As part of your contract, you're required to assist with repairs. Our old insulation is still out there. We can salvage parts from it to fix the radar. Get moving. Settlements built atop giant pillars, cities and outposts are safe havens from the machine. Here, you can find equipment, resupply, and take on jobs. Let's see, when you started, you were going to have to stomp rabbits. Those are not the rabbits I was picturing. It'd be kind of messed up if you're in this giant, like, gorilla mech, and you walk out and you see these adorable little bunnies. Okay. And we just started slapping. Okay, so let's see. So the other thing was pretty straightforward. It said gas station, and I clicked on the button, and it gave me gas. So that's pretty straightforward. We've got the market here, and that is a very... Oh, that's your leg bent there. I was like, what am I looking at? I see. So that's her hair waving, that's her bent knee, and then the other, like... She's just doing a really weird, like, salute diving at me action pose. So you can apparently buy flour, mozzarella, onion seeds, tomato seeds, or an upgraded power supply. I don't... Sure. We can't get any parts here. Those are the consumables. Yes, there's nothing here I want. You're wondering how they're going to play that off? Those did not offend nearly everybody. Yeah, just demolishing those. Okay, so we've got the library. What the clutch? Everything you need to know about operating heavy machinery slightly increases driving skill. Okay, so these are a way to buy stats. I understand. We have consumables and specials. Right, so you can basically buy, stuff here. Yeah, so it's like, as I mentioned, you can have characters die in this game. So that could be a thing, like, if you're later in the game and you take a loss of one of your characters, but you don't want to, like, save scum or you're playing Iron Man mode or whatever, you could turn around and hit the button and be like, nah, man, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and buy my way to getting a trained pilot by making them read a lot of books. Alright, so going to the old installation. Looks like those machines are busy assimilating parts of the installation. Recovery is going to be tricky. Okay. A new crew. Enemies here. We got a contract from Anchorage. Okay, so that's the same dialogue. Difficulty 1. And I do believe your mech can change a bunch, if I recall correctly. Like, you get a bunch of different parts, different abilities, all that. Intentions. Your mech can detect enemy intentions, giving you insight to what they might do. Others, like Scan, fully reveal some segments on the timeline, letting you plan your enemies, plan around your enemy actions. Gotcha. Here you can see the status of your enemy. Their current ammo, equipment, might offer insight on how they might act. Oh, I didn't realize I actually could see. Okay, that makes sense. Because that way, if I manage to dodge 3 times shooting at me, I know they can't shoot at me that turn. Also, apparently it has a grenade. Here you can see how many orders the enemy has left. Plan accordingly. Alright, so it's going to attack me on turn 4, almost certainly shooting me. But just like before, I'm going to have my gunner immediately open fire, because I see no reason to not immediately open fire and do damage. Priority. Orders in the same segment are resolved by priority. Higher priority execute first. If 2 orders have the same priority, the players executes first. Now, the only thing I'm not sure is I'm assuming 5 in this case is the higher priority. Like, it's higher, like, bigger number. So in that case, let's go to you, orders, deploy smoke. I can put this down, which should prevent both of those attacks from landing. And then we could then go to my driver. We'll go to move the zone after all that's resolved. And we're going to switch to the west zone, so that we can get ourselves into melee range next turn. And then you just deploy coolant, because it's literally all you can do. I wonder if I'll enjoy these animations as much after like 100 hours or something. But I'm practically cackling almost every single one of these. Alright, so we're now in the same area. So we don't know what they're going to do yet. I'm going to go for just smash. We're going to immediately smack him in the face. You're going to move the next turn. I'm okay with that. I am going to immediately shoot you right after you move, because I don't know how it resolves. I mean, no, it should be fine, because you move and then I will shoot at you, so you're probably fine there. That shouldn't be a dodge. Okay, and we've got 2 times where you're going to shoot at me back to back. So let's go ahead and grab you. Orders, deploy smoke, cover their entire turn, and then you have nothing better to do with your time, so you're going to deploy coolant after it's all said and done. Okay, we killed it. But yeah, so right now we're fighting the easiest enemies in the game, so where they basically just shoot and then move. One would anticipate this gets way more involved. Okay, so we got 60 scraps and an activity token. Alright, I'm assuming we're going to learn about what that is. If combat becomes too difficult, you can retreat. Well, that was something. Pretty bumpy for a first contract. The team definitely needs a breather. Maybe some yoga or sparring in our gym? We got an activity token for the last encounter. Let's spend it on the airship. Activity tokens are earned from winning encounters and completing contracts or quests. You can spend them aboard your ship to have your pilots perform activities. Activities influence how your pilots grow and perform. You can reduce fatigue, grant experience, improve mood, and form bonds. Let's try one now. Ah, I see where we're like all in a dystopian future. It's not actually because of the mechs. It's because even on your ship, you have to like pay tokens to access your own facilities on your own ship. I see. Okay, so wants me to... Okay, so if we do yoga, it improves the friendship. Okay. So we get to choose 2 people that I assume we improve our friendship between. We'll have Venus and Ellen do it. Also, 1 second. I just saw... Wait. Go back. Alright. So Venus Orozco has the traits Butterfingers and frequently gets into trouble. Clark Burke has the trait Spicy. Eating a jalapeno improves their mood. And Jeremiah Wiener has the traits Gym Bro. Better results from boxing, weightlifting, and paradise dance. Okay, so Gym Bro does not apply for yoga. Okay. I just hadn't seen those traits, because I didn't choose those. Those were randomly assigned, I think. Okay, their moods are slightly better, and they're neutral towards each other. Feeling much better now. Let's head back to Anchorage. Mood and fatigue. Mood and fatigue influence what can happen in battle. Low mood affects morale, and together with high fatigue, increases the risk of crisis and breakdowns. Very low mood can cause a pilot to desert the crew. Okay, let's go ahead and get out of here. So we need to go back to Anchorage. So yeah, we can't do any more recreation, chat. We don't have enough activity tokens. That's the real dystopia going on here. Not the end of the world. The fact that despite the end of the world, we have to pay for access to the services on our own ship. Well, at least you didn't bail on us like most crews do. Good job bringing back the parts for the old installation. With a little luck, we'll have the radar up and running again soon. The last group of volunteers that ventured into the ocean, they had a real glimmer in their eyes. I feel like they'll make it back soon. In the meantime, we think we found where the rabbits are coming from. A replication node has appeared on the island. Since your contract is still valid, you're in charge of taking it out. We can go here. Give me the gas. Oh, wait. Our currency literally is marbles. So they kept mentioning marbles and all that. I was like, what are they talking about? But those, you may not be able to see on the screen. They're like literally like glass marbles. What? Real question. Why in a dystopian future where AI has taken over, why would you use glass marbles as your currency? I'm sure we'll get some like nod to that. Wait. You're never taking out a replinaut with that loadout. You need missiles. Heat seekers. They'll track enemies even if they move. Here, take this. It's dangerous to go alone. I mean, I salvaged it off an unlucky crew. Not like I get many customers out here anyway. But if you make it back, remember me? I'd be happy to do business. So we're gonna get a nimble baboon chest. You can change your mech's parts and pilots from the management screen. Let's equip the new part you just obtained. Okay. Baboon chest. And we can choose the nimble baboon chest. So what am I getting rid of? I'll get into that in a moment. Alright, so let's look here. So we have the baboon chest, which does literally nothing, or the Nimble Baboon chest, where I can fire missiles that'll deal damage to everything in a zone, creates a decent amount of heat, and then you also have a reload missiles as our new thing. There's apparently a mod slot that we don't have anything for. Missiles, gotta be careful with those. They track enemy movement, but they will take they'll take a while to land. If we're too close when they go boom, we'll blow ourselves up. A mech requires a pilot in every station to operate. Gravely wounded pilots are unable to fight. Most parts require energy. To deploy a mech loadout, you must not exceed the engine's energy capacity. Okay, let's see. What is the... Okay, so the energy is this left side here. So we are using 5 energy, and we produce 7 energy. So our 7 energy up there, and we got 5 here. And I'm assuming the 3 is how much health that has. That's how much heat I can handle. And that's our various ammunition for the various things we do. Gotcha, cool. Let's go down here and do our thing in this area. Still the same contract. Honestly, so this is just a low-key animation thing. I'm really impressed with a lot of the whoa, okay, so we're fighting 2. I was gonna say, I'm really impressed with the animation. If you look at it, it's not that the animation is skipping like you're getting a bad frame rate. With the amount of detail they have in that animation, they're only doing a couple frames for the animation, which is probably a really smart move, because if they made those animations fluid the entire way through, that would be a lot of art to be made and handled and all that. And it still looks relatively good with the way they're doing it. It also kind of gives you a nod to like old school anime, because old school anime did that kind of stuff as well. And they haven't done the the really old school, like the Speed Racer, where like, you know, you'd see a person be like, oh no, and they just have the stripes going by the background. They haven't done anything quite like that, so I appreciate that. Wounds. When your mech is hit, your pilots risk being wounded. The lower your mech's hull points, the higher the chance of injury. Wounded pilots can continue fighting, but gravely wounded pilots are incapacitated for the rest of the battle and may not make it back to the airship. Events and comets test your pilot's morale. Low morale can trigger crisis or cause a breakdown. At the same time, pressure can push your pilots to perform extraordinary feats such as instinct guard, critical hits, and even a limit break. Okay, so it looks like all of their attacks are already queued up. That we are going to have the we are going to have them hit twice here. So we did just get our missiles, which I'm assuming that's you. Yeah, fire missile. So we're going to have them fire the missile on the opener. Hint: some attacks such as missiles and bombs hit everyone in a zone, including your mech. Plan accordingly. So if we look here, I see, because I mentioned there's a delay from when I fire and when I hit. So it looks here like I would hit here. I'm going to lock it in. But the missile actually hits there. So then what we can do now is we're going to go to our operations person. We're going to deploy smoke such that, that's fine. We're going to deploy smoke such that we don't take the hit from either of their shots. And the over-exaggerated expressions, yes. They're not over-exaggerated, they're just intense. I don't actually have anything I want you to do if I'm using these missiles. Oh good, you can do more now. So let's have you reload the missile. Let's have you do that. It doesn't matter. You can do that here. Do I stay at range or do I run in? I think we stay at range for right now. I guess you just don't do anything. They just, I don't care. There's the missile. What do you want from me? Okay, so we're repeating the exact same thing last time. We're still very much in tutorial land. So our heat is at 2 out of 7. So we're gonna have you fire the missile again. I'm gonna go here. You can go ahead and deploy smokes to prevent you from taking the damage. Go here. Reload the missile. And it's warning, 1 second. I didn't pay that close attention. I think it said I was low ammo. Oh, I see. I only have 2 missiles, period. So that's not gonna work. So I just wasted time. That's fine. That does mean there's no reason for me to stay back after that point. We're out of missiles. So let's go ahead and jump on them to try and hit him with a slap next turn. Wave 2. Okay, so we're getting more enemies. Okay, it's just 1. I am out of missiles, and I am out of smokes. So, we are just getting into this. So we're going to go ahead and immediately shoot the cannon. There's no more pets. Do you actually want to be here? Do you really want to be here? It doesn't look like you want to be involved anymore. Or maybe you should have actually gotten some sleep last night. So we're gonna shoot it. So for operations, I'm out of smokes, so we can't do that. We'll go ahead and scan because we haven't done that yet. Okay, so all it does is it tells me it's gonna shoot. That's fine, whatever. Let's go aggressive. Because we're not avoiding all the damage this time. I'm out of tricks. He's got a sneeze in the chamber. That's fair. We're gonna have you deploy coolant. Because you've been putting on the heat, and we're at 4 out of 7, so that's gonna be a problem soon. So you are gonna take some hits this time. Alright. So pilot, do this, slap him right there in the opener. Cool. Let's see. You type just like that when you work in IT. I really appreciate how over the top so much of this is. Alright, shoot your gun right away. Okay, so you're gonna shoot. Ah, okay. So I can see where the grenade's gonna go. So he's gonna hit a grenade right at the end there, right here. That he's gonna fire on the south quadrant, which is going to be where I am if it doesn't die. So go ahead and just deploy coolant because you literally have nothing else you can do. Okay, cool. It died before it had to take 2 more rounds of hits. Alright. So we got 150 scrap, we got an activity token, and we got a machine part. Heck yeah, time to get paid. Alright, how did our mech do? I wasn't paying that. Okay. Mech. Repair? Oh, we didn't actually take any damage that whole time. Alright. What? Okay. So my people were gossiping with each other and they became better friends because of it? Is that what I'm understood to have occurred here? Meanwhile, we have maintenance, we have the gym, we have the first floor. So we got the mech bay, we got something that's locked. Oh, toolbox, greenhouse, the second floor. Let's see. Smoothie machine. Obtain a Domo Cooker 82. Game area, first floor. Paradise Dance. Lowers fatigue, increases friendship. We have the game area. So, arcade makes our skills better. Shogi alters mood and increases rivalry. Okay. Do I want rivalry? Base improves mood. Reading improves skills. Well, we're definitely doing Paradise Dance. Because you are a gym bro. And you benefit extra from Paradise Dance. And you already have a little bit of friendship with Ellen Ennis. Let's just kind of keep pushing that and see what happens. Okay, fatigue doesn't go down that much, but okay. But now they're better fans. These animations and all that are just wild. Wow. I can't believe you actually did it. We can finally go back to regular operations. I really think we'll see an airship return this time. Honestly, we were so sure you wouldn't make it back that we already contracted another crew for patrol. So, we don't really have the marbles to pay you anymore, but you can take the sonar. We use it for salvage runs. And hey, if you ever decide to volunteer for an expedition at sea, come back okay? I didn't get paid. No marbles? We might be fools, but this is no charity. Let's get off this island. There's no more work here anyway. Maybe the junkers need something blown up. Let's load up the ship with supplies and head to the red line point. There might be a fixer there. Supplies. Supplies are everything your airship needs to operate. Fuel, food, and water. Traveling without supplies will cause crew morale to rapidly deteriorate, so let's resupply now. Oh, I've already been doing this. I thought this was just fuel, but like, supplies is just the generic operating stuff. Good, let's go ahead to the red line point. There might be a fixer there. Heard some interesting rumors while we were resupplying. Turns out somebody ditched a small cargo, some cargo east of here. Let's see if this sonar thing works. I'm assuming there's nothing new here. Yeah, so it looks like that stays the same. And I'm just looking at where the mini-map tells me to go. I'm not putting a whole lot of logic into flying around. I'm just going towards the icons. Alright. Wait a minute, the sonar's buzzing. Something must be down there. The sonar detects nearby movement and salvage. It can reveal wreckage, lost cargo, or machines lurking in the wastes. When a signal is detected, you can enter search mode. The pulse around the minimap indicates sonar activity. Let's enter search mode and, collect the nearby thing. Locking onto signals. Signals appear as a circular waves approaching your ship. Lock onto them at the right time to pinpoint... Okay, so it's a timing thing. Okay, well that was easy. I don't know if I had to, like, match the circle or... Oh, okay. Someone ditched a cargo pod with stuff inside. Wow. Wonder what other stuff is out there. Let's head to Red Lion Point. It's not too far from here. We got a foam darts. Missing signals. Missed signals are usually lost, but more opportunities are always out there to keep exploring. Alright, we'll just keep going. I like how there's a gauge here that's showing, like, this is how full of supplies, and then our currency is apparently warning me, like, going, "Aw, man, you're pretty low there." Do we pay our people or anything like that? Or is it just strictly supplies? The world is ending, but it seems that people in this part of the continent just want a party. Let's see if we can get some marbles out of them. Fixers are always looking for crews to hire. Complete contracts to earn marbles and other valuable rewards. Let's take a contract now. Okay, so we got the fixer. I'm guessing your face is underneath this and I can't see it. Okay, so contract, get rid of some machines. So all of them are one skull. Looks like all of these are just going to be kill stuff. Sure. Contract certain station. They'll be back anyway, but gotta try, right? They don't call you fools for nothing. You win. So give me 182 bucks for low security. Alright, it's time. Time to make a name for ourselves. So what do we have here? Okay, so they do have a wage. And these are apparently rookies. They don't have any like, I don't know if the icons are in the bottom, but they don't have anything. I don't feel like I need more recruits. We'll top off our gas. General store. So parts. So we do have parts we can buy. We'll check that in a moment. Consumables. I don't really know why we want these things. Like, they have icons, like those have a little square icon, those have a little dot, and those have a triangle, and I'm sure that means something. Mustard yellow, you can almost taste it. So we got yellow paint, perfect for our ladders. Okay, so we do have parts. So let's see what we got in here. So strong orangutan chest. After 2 segments, deals 5 explosive damage in the target zone. So I can fire a missile. It can reload a missile. It can empower melee, so it increases the melee damage by 2 for the next segments. So that could be when I run out of missiles, I can still use this to empower more damage. Unstable orangutan chest. So we got our missiles. We can also deploy bombs, and bombs do a ton of damage. We have the heart, which lets me reduce heat, increases melee and range damage by 50% for 3 segments, then maxes heat. So I can use overdrive to massively boost my damage, but then I basically overheat almost immediately. Strong chimpanzee legs, moved, so we can move to target zone. Oh, okay. Oh, the symbols are the rarity indicator? Interesting. Yeah, so looking at this one, so that's interesting. Right now our legs just let me move to zone. So I have to be like north, south, east, west, and just guess where the enemy is going to be. This one lets me move directly to a target. So if the enemy moves around and I just don't know where it's going to be, it doesn't matter. I'm going to move to the zone the enemy's in at the time I use it. Let's see. Fit orangutan legs, dash to zone, dash to target, and it grants evasion to avoid ranged attacks while I do it, so that's kind of cool. So I can basically effectively dodge attacks. Energy burst grants evasion to avoid range attacks, and then moves to zone and all that. We got a second page. Black back arms. They hold big guns inside of them, so we get a little bit stronger gun, and we also get double shot, which shoots for 2 turns back to back at slightly less damage per shot, but one would assume like extra damage. It also has like a really, really high power cost. Simple chimpanzee core. Deploy countermeasures. Applies countermeasure status to your zone, which intercepts all missiles that would hit the zone for 3 segments. So I can counter missiles. Resilient core. Same thing. Sturdy core, scan backward, reveals all orders played in this segment as well as the previous 2 segments and goes into effect immediately. Okay. So this one will scan the current segment and the next segment. This one scans one segment and goes back to. Interesting. Fit shoulders, deals melee damage to a target next to me and guard. Here's the new one. So this one I get Slap, which I already have, and it would give up Guard to get Smash, which damages all things in a zone except myself. And then we would have the Guard and Rage. Half all damage at the end. If you took damage while guarding, deal 4 damage to all enemies in your zone. So basically, with the Fit Shoulders, that would be a melee build, right? I would want to get on top of the enemy as fast as I could and just start, just start swinging. Okay. Unfortunately, the only things I can afford right now are a core that would give me slightly less total power, but give me countermeasures. The Fit Chimpanzee Shoulders, which literally doesn't look like anything I would want or need. Or the Strong Legs, which would give me move to targets. I'm gonna skip on that right now till we have more money. Alright, so we got enemies over there. Alright, they'll be back again anyways, but we gotta try right. They don't call you fools for nothing. You win? Alright, so we're gonna kill this thing. Alright. So you're going to attack and you're going to get one more thing you can do. So let's start by we're going to go in here and immediately fire with our gun, because I don't see a reason not to. Okay, so you got 2 attack moves. So let's go again to our operations person. Order. Wait, what was that? Momentum shift. Momentum shifts are special actions pilots can perform with close friends or rivals. Each pilot can usually perform only 1 momentum shift per battle. Okay. So we can tag in, give a pilot's action to a close friend, overtake, steal a pilot's action from a rival. Okay. So I can have a very important person be rivals with others to basically, like, let's say we're going for the melee build. So the melee build is going to be based around our pilot. In this case, it would potentially be to my benefit for Venus to be rivals with as many other people as possible. Because then what I could potentially do is go in, you know, she could move up and then hit the enemy in one turn by stealing someone else's actions. And considering the engineer early on, about all I have for you to do is deploy coolant, it could be worth it for me to have those two have a rivalry, so that she could run in, do damage, and so she takes her 2 turns at the cost of my engineer, and then we shoot stuff. That's kind of a cool thing, and the stipulation is rivalries allow me to take a turn from someone else, whereas friendships allow me to grant a turn to someone else. So I could go this 2 ways. If they're rivals, she can just take the move. Otherwise, I'd have to go to the engineer and give the move. But the thing is, giving it is only... There's going to be reasons I would want to do it one way or the other. But it's kind of a cool thing to have there. All right, so regardless, we're going to operations, orders, deploy smoke. Don't show that again. We're going to prevent both those attacks. And then we're going to go to the pilot, order, move to zone. We're going to move to the same zone because I'm not using the missiles right now. And then we will just have you go ahead and deploy coolant at the end of the turn to keep our heat down. Because it doesn't look like I actually have a limit on coolant. It's just kind of what she could do if there's nothing else to do. Alright. So you're going to try to move right pretty early on. So let's go ahead and order, slap right at the opener. Oh, you dirty. I see what you did. It's fine. We're going to take a hit here that I can't avoid. It's fine. They baited me into doing the hit right away, as opposed to like popping the smoke to avoid that damage. It's fine. So we're gonna take a hit we can't avoid. It's whatever. I'm gonna scan just because I think you need the practice. Oh, you're going to shoot? Okay, that actually might work out for me. Excellent. Because it shot for the grenade, we managed to avoid the damage. I thought it was just going to regular shoot me, and it's just going to eat the hit, and there's nothing I could do about it. So everyone's gaining a little bit of contentness and all that. Oh, we got an activity ticket. Token, whatever. Let's complete the contract, get our stuff. And they probably want to keep doing activities. I'm curious what other benefits you might have with being, like, friends versus rivals. Oh, and you also gave me 2 more activity tokens. Well, we're not gonna hang out. Finally, marbles! Okay, so let's go to the gas station, top off our supplies, go to the fixer. So there wasn't a new contract added, so we'll just go ahead and do this one. There are too many machines in the area. If we don't cut them down, salvage is going to be a nightmare. What do you say? Let's go ahead and kill some stuff. So now if we look at our parts, I have options. So I don't have the really, really cool options up here. I also can't use the really, really cool options because I would need a better, I think it's, what is it, the core that gives me the energy? No, it's not the core. Oh, it's the heart that gives me energy. Right, right. So. So that gives me a massive boost to my melee damage that can be used by the person who runs the cooler. But it is a thing that maxes out my heat. This game needs more crabs. Hey, maybe we can become crab. I don't know. So that's the only better heart. We only have 2 units extra power we can go with. For these ones are -3. I could get one of these and deploy it. So this would give me a bomb. Oh, I see. It puts the bomb in my zone, so I'd have to get into melee, drop the bomb, and get back out before it detonates or take a ridiculous amount of damage. So you either do that or dash to target. Or we could get the thing that gives me dodges by running around. I'm leaning towards doing the fit core, because the 2 really good ones here I can't use until we have a better, or sorry, the fit heart. And I know my tendency will be to spend nothing. Let's do it. We're going. Done. Would you like to install the new part in your mech? Yes, please. It also gives our engineers something else to do. So we're basically broke. Hey, fools. Nice mech. I used to engineer inside one of those years back. How old are you supposed to be? Now I'm just a mechanic. Airships, engines mostly. There's people at World's End who need to help with some water extraction equipment. Mind giving me a lift? I don't have marbles, but I can kit your airship with a turbo. So we're a taxi service now? Well, not exactly thrilling, but at least lets us see World's End and needs work. It's hard to say no to a turbo. Okay, so let's see if we can't do both things. Let's see if I can't go up here, kill the mech, endangering this random person. This is not the way to the World's End. We must go east. The city should be along the coast. Alright, so we don't get to kill the mech right now, I understand. Oh, also I have the, oh, we can do weightlifting. Lowers fatigue, improves mood and friendship. We don't have a boxing bag. First floor, those are still locked up. Second floor. And that lowers fatigue and increases friendship. So let's keep going with that. Jeremiah loves this, so we're gonna go ahead and do that. It looks like you have the highest fatigue right now. Alright, so they're now friends. And we're gonna do it again. Oh, wait. Oh. Okay. I have a limited number of times I can do these things. So I'm looking mostly at stuff that reduces fatigue. And it seems like the stuff that reduces fatigue appears to be the stuff that's like fitness, which is very counterintuitive to me. Yeah, weightlifting only lowers one person. Yeah, I think we'll just wait. That we only... Oh, I guess we can't go near those mountains. Fair enough. So the mountains can obstruct my flying ship from going over there. That's good information. World's End. Thank you, fools. I've checked the work. Looks like we'll be here a while. Can now you do me one last favor? I talked them into some advanced pay. I picked up some of the supplies for my wife. She'll need them. She can't really work right now, you know? Since I'll be stuck here a few days, could you bring them to her? I'll make it up to you down the line, I promise. Taxi and delivery? Yeah, also people are getting married? Really? The world's ending. What's the point? This turbo better be worth it. You already have a job. Okay, so you only have one job at a time. Alright. So... after 4 segments, deal 6 explosive damage. Alright. Reduces heat. That's actually... so that just has a lot of power, and it's otherwise pretty garbage. Get dash to zone, dash to target, emergency dash, shotgun. Deal 6 damage to the target if the target is in your zone, half otherwise. Okay, so it's a short range damage, which sounds very counterintuitive. But it's a short range damage that does twice as much damage as I would right now. But if the thing moves away, it does less damage. Interesting. That's fine. Nothing exciting. Nothing exciting. Slap and smash. Okay, the downside is I already spent my money, so we're not doing that. Event breakthrough. Okay. You just were randomly like, you know what I'm suddenly gonna get good at? Homesteading. I'm okay with this. It's a little weird that you're like, Eureka! I can homestead slightly better. I now know to put the oil in the pan before I heat the pan. Pilots are mercenaries. As such, their wages are paid periodically. Low or missing payments severely impact crew mood. I hope everyone got paid enough, because I don't actually know what they get paid. Can I see what you're getting paid? What are you being paid? I don't know how to find this. There we go. Where is pay? Oh, good. Your wage is like pennies. Ah, I see. So there is a homesteading skill. And I also see there's aspirations. But apparently none of my people have any aspirations at all. That's perfect. Skills and traits. You can also get skills acquired. So that's interesting. So we got our base skills that people just have. But there's apparently 4 extra skills we can get. We get those by completing aspirations, which we don't know what is. Nor do we have any. For we lack aspiration in our lives. Alright, chat, bear with me for 2 seconds. We're in an ad break real fast. I'm just gonna grab myself a new drink and be right back. But thank you again for tuning in. I'll be back in just a second. Okay, I normally don't like taking any kind of break during sponsored segment to make sure they feel like they got their money's worth and all that. But like, I was out of fluids and I'm talking a lot, and those are not a thing we want to have go on. All right, so let's go murder the crap out of whatever this mech is. Clean up operation. Low difficulty, so we're gonna go ahead and murder some mechs. Also, the idea that you're flying a mech, so you're, whoa, that's okay. We have something new. So you're a bipedal, and you're gonna grab this thing and rev it like it's a motorcycle. Sure. So what are you? So you are a wolf. So you're definitely going to be melee because you don't have guns. So we can assume that you're going to move. So you're going to move on the 3rd turn. I'm suspecting if I try to land a missile on the both of you, it's not going to happen because we'll deploy it, it'll land here, and I think the movement will take priority. Alright. I am going to assume the wolf is the bigger threat because I don't recognize it, and that makes me unhappy. Yeah, okay, there's the wolf. We're gonna shoot the wolf. Alright. Now we're gonna follow this up. Order, deploy smoke, prevent that shot from landing. Then we're gonna go to our pilot. We're gonna go to move to zone. So the wolf is going to come to me. Yeah, so wolf is going to come to me here. So let's go there. I didn't set it happened to be right. So then we're going to move away from the wolf so that misses. So we're going to take this hit, dodge that hit, and then be not in the right area for the wolf to hit us there. And you have your orders that you can do overdrive that causes extra damage but maxes out heat. Unfortunately, I'm not in a situation where I can take advantage of that, so we're just going to burn our stuff off. Okay, so it was trying to bite me, but I wasn't in the position for it to do so. Wolf defense unknown. Oh, okay, so that would also say unknown. Alright. So I don't think we shoot the wolf while it has that defense unknown going on. I'm a little concerned it's going to do something I'm really not going to like. So let's shoot our cannon at the wolf, but after its defense comes down. Okay, so you're going to move to get out of my range, and you're going to move to get in my range. So I'm feeling like what we can do then is we can have you, on this turn, go ahead and take that attack of opportunity and slap this thing. And then you... go ahead and not you. You can go ahead and deploy your smokes to avoid the ranged attack. And you can deploy coolant. Okay, so its defense was just dodge. I was worried it was going to have, like, a counter-attack or something more dangerous or exotic. That's good to know, so I think it had the one where it would have gone evasive when it tried to run up to me. So you have a special. Okay. And right now we're all in different zones. So you don't have any smoke left. I want to know what that is. Reload bullets, dash to target, then you're gonna bite. Alright. So pilot. I'm gonna have you order. So what I'm looking at is if I try to move, right now the wolf is the one we've done most of the damage to. If we try to move, we're probably not going to get much damage done. What I could probably do is we're going to trade blows with the wolf. It's going to come to us, and we're going to give it a smack in the face. Meanwhile, you have the overdrive. I could use that to potentially immediately overheat us. The other thing I can do is grab our gunner. And I got two choices here. One is I can fire the missile over onto the mech. Or the rabbit. Let's go for that. So we're going to fire at that. That's fine. We're going to fire the missile at the rabbit. So we can double up our damage that turn and maybe get some work done. And then we're going to reload the missile just whenever because we want to keep that going. And let's get that going. So we're going to eat a hit or two this turn if we don't kill everything. Kill it. Okay, so the missile did kill the other one. So you're gonna move that turn. Alright. Let's make decisions. I want to try the thing. So we're gonna go ahead and deliberately max out our heat. That'll work just fine. So you're gonna slap after its defensive move. And you're gonna reload your bullets while we wait. And you just scan because you can. So you're gonna dash away, which is interesting considering you seem to be a melee-oriented thing. Alright. And I did notice they had like a thing, and I didn't call it out because I was like trying to think the strategy. On the bottom left is saying like our mood was steady and then it was determined and all that. So I'm assuming that'll affect stuff like how will they perform. So we got an activity token, some scraps, some machine parts. We haven't seen what the machine parts are for yet. Alright, so we have some damage on our mech. Yeah, we're 87%, so 25 scrap repairs it, and we're back in business. Let's go in here. Because I'm trying to keep the fatigue from building up, because I assume eventually the fatigue will get to a point where it's a problem. Alright, so you just keep doing your thing, my man. And you are now the highest from there. Okay. So we still have 2 more activity tokens, and we can't use those right now because this has already been done. This says this improves skills, and then there's the books that improve skills as well. So let's try that. So we have foam darts, slightly increases your gunnery and homesteading skill. Okay. So there's gossip happening. And then there was also books. I don't own any books. Okay. That makes rivalry, which I think is the opposite of friendship, just by guessing. And we'll go down to the mech bay, and then down to the gym. And we'll do yoga. So right now, a lot of them are all becoming friends. Except these two are not that great of friends yet. Let's go ahead and do that. Oh, good. So, Ellen Ennis has become ecstatic. But I don't know what that affects, but apparently we're really, really happy. Oh, that's a mount I definitely can't go by. Oh yeah, so you just straight up get stuck in the mountain. Okay. So you do have terrain that blocks you from traveling at just, you know, anywhere you want. So mountain ranges will be blocking. So I imagine they're probably going to use that for pathing. What the? Red line is... The city is... gone? What? How? This is... way above our pay grade. That could have been us. I knew people there. What do we do? We should go back. Tell the guy at least. Let me check one thing, chat. Alright. Please stop once the railgun mission is complete. To avoid major spoilers. Let me just double check that, because I gotta watch to avoid major spoilers that I'm not supposed to go through. Please stop once the railgun mission is complete. I'm just double checking because they do have a point they want us to stop at. Okay. Okay, that's red line. That's not railgun. So I think we're okay. Because they were very clear. They're like, hey, when you get to this point in the game, we do want you to stop to avoid major spoilers. Which, considering that caught me by surprise. I was not anticipating taking a quest and ferrying people back and forth, and then immediately having the city that I just did a quest on didn't get paid for. There's the real crime in all this. That I didn't even get paid for the work I did. And having the city just detonate and be gone off the map was not really anticipated. And the fact that that's not the major spoiler does make me curious what the major spoiler is. But I gotta watch. It said, don't finish the railgun quest. No. It can't be. No. 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 Go away. Go away. Leave me alone. Well, what do we do now? I've never heard of a city exploding like that. Could have been an accident? It was the machines. No other explanation. But how? If they could just erase the city like that, then it's over. They won. They won a long time ago. We're all just killing time over here. We know it's coming. Well, then I say let's just make marbles until it does. I don't know. Maybe there won't even be fixers around anymore. Maybe next time we're resupplying? Boom. We're gone. We should try to know more at least. The Junker's capital, Motorhold, may know something. Yes, those are just destroy stuff. I will grab one of those just in case. Also, I really hope our people don't want to be paid. Because I don't think they're getting paid. Searching for clues. It looks like we'll be able to exterminate the machines on the way. Alright. I don't remember if I repaired after the last fight. It is a curiosity. I didn't think, like, if we went into, like, if our mood changed, because we were, like, ecstatic and happy and all that. One would assume our mood should change between those missions, because, you know, we didn't get paid. Oh, and I guess people died too, and that's kind of, that's... I understand people dying is not generally considered a good thing. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to deliberately go to you, because we're waiting to see what your moves are going to be. And I'm going to tell you to deploy coolant right at the end. Okay, so you have spaced out your attacks, so I cannot avoid both of them. So let's try and see what we can make happen here. I'm going to go ahead and we'll go Gunner, Orders. Yeah, so that only does 1 extra damage. So I'm going to shoot the gun here. We'll go to our pilot, we'll order you. Sometimes orders span multiple segments and can be interrupted. Orders that overlap the time slot will cut short instead. So we're gonna go ahead and block this to prevent half the damage. I'm gonna order, and I'm gonna deploy smokes. There. And that's because those are too far spaced out. I can't deploy smokes to cover both of them. So we're going to shoot him, we're going to go into a defensive stance to half the, you know, reduce the damage, and we're going to dodge the last hit. Yeah, so he only took 1 damage. Oh, so that's interesting. So you fired the grenade. It doesn't list it as going to happen here. But it is marked on my map. So let's assume that that's going to be a problem. Let's go orders, immediately move to zone, and then we'll go to the zone that you're in. So hopefully avoid the explosive. All right, and then with this, you can go orders on you. We can prevent both of those from hitting me. Then go to our gunner. Go to you. And deploy coolant. That does make it curious that I could overdrive the end of one turn and then next turn we're good. So we managed to avoid getting hit by the explosive by just moving. We deployed the smoke to prevent being shot. And the grenade was long in the wrong spot and didn't hurt us. Alright, so with this, I'm going to try and get you before you have a chance to move away from me. I'm going to slap you on the opener. Okay, you're going to need to reload your bullets. There's not much else for you to do right now, so I'll just drop you back there. Pilots, you already used up both of your smokes, so just go ahead and scan it for, I guess, practice or something, I don't know. And then you have... Alright. So I should get the slap off, and that'll probably finish the job. They've gone from steady to determined. Yeah, it didn't update any of their moods based on that past event, so they're all like happy and ecstatic. You know, kind of messed up, man. Let's circle back and get paid real embarrassed. Okay. There's just a negative random event that made the person less happy. So let's go back and hurry get some cash, because we're not gonna make payroll otherwise. And there's no guarantee if we get to my other side I'm getting paid. Cool. So I got paid. Love to see it. I will grab another one of these to just kill stuff. We're not going to worry about buying more stuff beyond our fuel for right now. That's not what I was looking for. That's on me. Did that say the color was broccoli? What? So we got our color smoky, a soothing hue of lavender. Broccoli, hated by some, feared by kids. Peach pink, nectarines when they're in the ripest. Shadow, if you jump, it jumps with you. Wild berry. Every berry is a wild berry if you're clumsy enough. Alright, okay, so let's go ahead and move on to Motorhold. Every berry is a wild berry if you're clumsy enough. I don't think that's how that works. I guess every berry is a wild berry if you're, uninformed enough? Her headline point is gone? I am shocked. Totally shocked. Listen, fools. World's been ending for a while now. It's gonna come for all of us. Explosion was heard halfway across the continent. Probably this ain't news to us. It probably was the machines, yeah. Cities don't just randomly explode like that. First time it's happened, though. Thing is, we're on borrowed time here. If you want to be a downer, Motorhold ain't the place. Take your questions and your worries someplace else. Maybe the salvage array? Really boring people. Can't believe they don't care about the red line point. They gave up long ago. They all did. We all did. What if there's a way to stop this? To defeat the machines once and for all? Yeah, I don't think so. Humanity couldn't do it during the war. There's no hope now. Too many machines, too strong. And people just don't care. We're mercenaries. We should stick to that. Yeah, until the next fixer gets blown up by the machines. Can't really be mercenaries if there's no one left to work for. We should at least talk to the salvage array. The researchers there might know something. Or not. Doesn't hurt to ask. Let's try. And then she asked, and it caused her physical pain. No one really knows why. But, it did in fact hurt to ask. Okay, so we got the trauma center. Are you... That is a very weird graphic. Okay, so I guess if our people actually get injured, we would go to the trauma center. Why is no one's worried about all that? We did the gas station. Mecha workshop. Would you like to offload your chassis and switch to a monkey model? Okay, so I guess this is the monkey model. But for 800 marbles, I could change my mech. Video game store. So most people look mostly human, but the doctor is like, had a football for head? Yeah. You've not hit, what was it, Arthur? Hey, Arthur. You not seen that? So you can buy video games. Machines hit harder around here. It might be a good idea to spend some marbles on better parts if we want to push any farther into the content. Oh, hey, Arnold. That's right. Okay. Like the nimble chimpanzee, that doesn't really change a whole lot from what we've already got. We got the resilient chimpanzee core. About the same we already got. So unfortunately, I just don't have anything. We got consumables. Did I do that? Surprise yourself and your crew with a spectacular maneuvers, greatly increasing your driving skill. Toolbox. Surprisingly, the design of the Allen keys is unchanged. Unlocks the tuning activity. Okay, so we can apparently tune our mech, but I don't have the money. So we're broke. So, new crew, huh? Never heard of you. Which means your prep mech probably sucks. When it comes to the monkey, it's all about the engine. You need horsepower to really slap machines, you know? Speaking of horsepower, we're cooking up something that'll make people forget the world's end, even ending. You want in? Let's see what you can do first. We got a pack of wolves nearby. That needs smashing. Alright, let's go see about the pack of wolves. Motorhome is building something that's going to make people forget the world is ending. We want in. Difficulty 2. So it's the first one that's a higher difficulty. Or not the minimum difficulty, I should phrase. Alright, so we got 2 wolves. Alright, so you're going to attack at the end of your turn. You're going to do a defense at the end of your turn. So I'm going to go ahead and go here, go to our engineer, go to orders, and I would like to deploy coolant at the end of the turn. To see what they're going to do. So they're both going to move to me at this turn. Alright, so we gotta consider things. And the reason I'm saying that, yeah, so you're not gonna be needed here. So if I put this here, I should see where they're moving, because I don't know if their movement is based on location or what. So let's go ahead and do the scan here. So one is going to dash to me, the other is going to dash to north. Alright. So we're going to end up split up unless I deliberately draw them together, which I'm not going to do. So I think what we'll do is I could choose to fire the missile, because I don't think I'm going to get them to the same place. Hint, some of your attacks, such as missiles, yeah, that's fine. Oh, I can only target enemies. So you're going to dash to north. And you're going to dash to me. Let's target you. I think they're going... Yeah, the one will successfully dodge. We should catch the other one. Let's fire that. And then meanwhile, we're going to go ahead and choose to move to zone. And we're going to move to the south. Actually, wait. So you're going to move to me. So you'll be in the west. So I can move you to north. After the missile goes off, so that we're on the same location as the mech for the next turn. Let's do it. The plan is we fire the missile, we hit the one going to the north. We did the scan just to see what they're up to. We will then move to the north to be next to the one that's going to go into defensive, and that should also move me away from the one that's going to try to physically attack me. So it should give me the opportunity next turn to potentially put a hit or two in really fast to the one I'm hitting with the missile. Okay, so you're going defense, and you're going to move. So you're the one on the same tile as me, and you're moving here. So let's go to the engineer, orders. Then we're gonna do this, like, we'll have you reload the missile. I don't think we'll need the missile, but we'll go ahead and reload the missile at the end there. We can see what the rest of what you're gonna do. Alright. So, let's consider what we've got going on now. So, you are going to move and then attack, and you're going to defend attack. So that's the one we care about. I can probably kill that one, because I'm on the tile with it already, before it can do anything. So let's make sure we're targeting the correct one. So we're going to slap the one next to us. And then we're going to go to our gunner. And we're just going to have you regular old shoot the crap out of it. And then you are going to go ahead and scan to see what this one is going to be doing over here. So you're going to move south. Alright. Alright, so we got the one. Cool. So we got all that figured out. So you're going to plan to attack me at the end there. It is convenient having the engineer be able to just be like, okay, at the end of your turn, just do that so we can actually see what you're going to do. Alright, so the assumption here is that you're going to move to me, and then you're going to attack me. Let's test that theory. So orders, scan. So you're gonna dash to me. So I can go orders, gunner, do this, shoot the target on the first turn. Okay, so realistically I got two choices of what I can do here. One is I can, you know what, we're gonna play it safe. I was gonna say I could slap it when it gets here. But what we could do here is we'll have you move to the east quadrant here. And that'll do it. So that we'll get out of the way then. Let's see, is this the video game of Code? I have no idea what that is, Darth. The answer is no, but I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming it's a TV show error. Alright, so you tried to move to my tile and get the attack on me. So you're gonna go defensive. Let's play it safe. I can go here and have you deploy coolant at the end there. Because I could see if you attack there. Alright, so you're gonna go defensive and then move. So unfortunately my gunner... Well actually, what we can do with the gunner is orders, fires a missile on the target. Because that dodge shouldn't matter, I don't believe. Your pilot, orders... You're gonna move to me. Let's go orders, slap, after it arrives. And you just scan because you got nothing better to do with your life, man. Oh, you baited me into ways. I mean, the swing doesn't matter, but I'm gonna miss because I thought he was gonna run to me, and instead it's just beelining to a different tile. Just whiff, no melee attack. Melee attacks only hit enemies in the same zone, I know. I appreciate you being like, hey man, you did something dumb. It's like, look man, don't out me here. Alright, so let's go here. We're gonna go for, orders. So with momentum shift, it's only close friends. Okay. So we have to have a closer relationship for us to be able to, like, override each other's moves and all that. So same deal, we're gonna go here. I don't really have a lot to throw at this. Actually, let's have you wait. You're not gonna get to shoot this one, so I'm gonna use your move as the last one. So you'll reload at the end. I wanna see... So are you going to move to me? That's what I care about. So scan. Are you moving to me? You're going to dash to me. Okay. Let's do some shenanigans. We're gonna order, we're gonna overdrive, give ourselves a boost in damage, order, do this, and we're gonna slap. And we're gonna slap it after it arrives for an extra hard hit. Old anime about kids going into a digital world and then stop things from like games invading the real world. Oh no. This is one of those things that's like dystopian AI took over, robots are trying to kill everybody, and the world is coming to an end, and you're just being like, no. Wait. Why did I not slap? I missed what happened there. So before I can do literally anything, we need to deploy coolant. Oh, I thought I had one more turn on the overdrive. I thought it was like 3 segments, not inclusive. I see. That's on me. That's fine. We're deploying coolant there. They'll slap you. And that'll shoot. You just skip your turn. Yeah, I thought it was overdrive goes, and then 3 blocks after that, like three attack turns or whatever I'll get to go. I didn't catch that, like, the turn I am overdriving in is one of the 3 blocks. That's fine. At some point, we're going to be either E or D rank or whatever they consider the next up. Alright. So we did that. Let's go ahead and pop in here. I'm just blanking on where stuff is. First floor. Second floor. Do this. Who's got the highest fatigue? That'd be Venus. I think the amount of fatigue we're getting hit with varies based on how many actions each one does, maybe? I'm not clear on that. I mean, every time we fight, we get some. We have 3 more activity vouchers. Let's go to the game area. Arcade. We'll have our gunner continue to gun. Alright. Got one more activity thing. So let's go down here to the gym. It's looking like the least developed relationship now is Venus and Clark. He didn't move. They literally just like sat there. Event okay, aspirations were those things that like we get new stuff. New aspiration. Jeremiah wants to help his hometown Hoverreach by performing some work for the local fixer. All right, so that's the first time we've seen an aspiration. Let's go down over here. All right, maybe your monkey isn't that bad after all. Okay, want to hear what we're working on? We're building a racetrack. We figured, why use airships for transport? That's boring. Plus, I heard that the Traders Guild is using ground transports now. Who needs airships anymore? We just started laying down the track, but we keep getting attacked by the machines. How about you keep them busy while we work on a section nearby? So, okay. Do they call that parallel play? Alright. So you need to go back to do the job for our fixer. I also just realized I don't think I actually repaired my mech. Oh, you're fine. Okay. So we need to go down here and hunt the machines. Alright, what button was that? Oh, hang on. That was... Okay, it pulsed like 3 times. Missing parcels. There's some stash down there. We should head down and see what it is. Looks like it got dropped on the way somewhere. You think we should deliver it? Sure. Return it to Anchorage. Okay. You best pay me, I'm wasting a lot of fuel going over here. Hey, I was thinking, maybe this stuff just ain't for us. What are we even trying to do? Save the next city? Save the world? We got mouths to feed. Maybe stick to the basics? Contracts bring in marbles. We need them. Let's not forget that. New quest, this is not for us. Okay, what is this new, what is, hang on. Contracts. This is not for us. Complete 2 contracts. Let's see. Some crew believe we should just stick to mercenary work. Oh, interesting. So some people are like, why are we trying to do anything meaningful? Let's just be mercenaries. So I wonder if I do this other job that's not mercenary work, that, like, will fail that one and upset the person? I'm curious about that. So it looks like there's a lot of RNG stuff we have going on where, like, random events happen. People have other considerations, that kind of stuff that come up. Didn't think I'd ever see that again. Felt good to drop it off. Mission complete. Here's our earnings. So we got supplies, some marbles, activity tokens. And it was enough to cover all of our costs. Okay, so let's start working our way over. Yeah, no, it makes me curious about that scanning thing. When I scanned... What was that? I am so confused. Oh, I think it was letting me know I just paid my people. Alright, so we need to hunt the mechs, turn that in, go to the salvage array. We have one where we need to distract enemies. So that's an interesting one. It doesn't say kill the enemies, it says distract them. So the assumption being there in that fight, we don't actually care about wiping the enemies out. It's probably a thing that we do kill them, it probably counts as well. Assuming there is a wipe them all out. But I'd assume the other option would be to just last long enough. Alright, so this is the one, though, that we just need to kill stuff. That's because I grabbed that contract for the fixer and left. Let's kind of think in the future that when I take something for a fixer, we should just knock it out right away and not continue on, because I'll just have to backtrack for it. Alright, so we got a wolf and a rabbit. Okay, so you're both going to attack in that phase. So we're going to do that so we get to see what they're going to do. So you got 2 attacks here, and you're going to move presumably over to me on this stage. Which is interesting that I actually am already on the tile with the wolf. So let's go here. So I've got choices here. And my choices are, 1, I can go for the hit on the wolf and potentially trade blows. Alright, well, first of all, we're going to go to you. We're going to deploy the smokes, because I don't want to get hit by 2 separate attacks. The choices I have here is we can have you shoot. The big curiosity is, do I think it's... Well, it's not going to move to the same tile that we're already on. It might. That actually might be moved towards me. Let's take our chances. I'm going to go ahead and say driver, orders, slap for 3 damage. You're going to slap the wolf right on the opener. Pilots, orders, shoot the cannon at the wolf right here. We're going to see what happens. I might be eating a hit from the wolf here. It depends if that movement is to move to a specific location or move to me. It was moved to me. So it did get the hit in. It actually did 3 damage. Which they only have 15 health. So most likely the wolf has just 1 hit left on it. So we can probably literally just open up and immediately slap the wolf. Don't give him a chance to do anything. Okay, so let's go here. Operations, orders, deploy smokes, prevent that hit. Pilots, gunner, orders. They're just going to literally stand there. Let's take the opportunity there. We're going to chuck the missile on you. Gonna reload our missile. Okay. So my intention here is that hoping this slap will finish off the wolf. Go. I put the missile out for this one because it does 1 more damage than my regular shot. Oh good, I thought, in my mind it was a special, so I should have realized it was a reload. I thought it was going to drop a grenade on me and I wasn't going to be able to move out of the way. Okay. So you are out of smokes. So let's go for it. Orders. Shoot the cannon. And we should do the bonus damage, which should finish it off. They'll still have 1 energy left. They'll put you on target. And then you're just going to skip because you're not going to have anything. We're going to be overheated. Alright. Okay, so we've maxed out one of their moods. So I was curious if we maxed out the mood, if there'd be like some bonus we would get. I didn't see that. Now, granted, it could be like it's at 99 out of 100, so it's not really maxed out. Let's pop over here. We can quickly turn in this mission. Cool. Got money and everything, so let's go over here. Alright. I'm not sure if those changed or not. Oh, they did. Deploys a proximity mine. Places the mine activates after 1 segment. If an entity is in its area at the end of the segment, it does 8 damage. Interesting. And so he drives most of the melee stuff. So we have guard and all that. Yeah, so oh, that would be 9 damage. Which is pretty cool. It applies tracked, but that requires 5 core power. What is my core power right now? I know we got an upgrade, I just don't remember what it was. So with the mech, you're fully repaired. In your loadout, we did get you the better heart. So we have 12 power, and we're only using 5. So I do have 7 spare power, so we can actually do something pretty cool if we have the money, which is a pretty big if. Let's go to our parts. So we can empower the melee. I don't think that makes the most sense for us right now. We can deploy the proximity mine. I can't afford that. We already have an upgraded heart. Move to zone's not that exciting. Move to zone, target, and emergency rush could be pretty cool. I feel like I'd rather have more damage before we do that. So we have the shotgun. So shotgun does extra damage when we're close. And those sniper rifle does extra damage when we're not close. And then the other ones don't do anything exciting. So let's get the shotgun. So at long range, it's the same damage we were doing. At close range, it's double the damage we were doing. We deliberately did not take another quest from the Fixer. Because it was just going to give me another quest down there. And I'm trying to not get trapped back in that spot. The Junkers. Okay, Motorhold is building something that's going to make people forget the world is ending. We want in 2 skulls. So this is one we don't need to eliminate, we need to distract. So let's see what that all means. And as a reminder, this did release in its 1.0 version. It is available right now. We do have a link in the top of the stream. If you do click on that, that does help me out. I don't get a kickback or anything from it. That's not how those usually work. But it does just let them know that you found the game through me, which will help potentially get me future sponsorship opportunities for the games like this and others. Okay, so this is our first 3-on-1. Survive. Some encounters have different victory or defeat conditions. You may need to defend an ally, survive a set number of rounds, or defeat all machines before time runs out. You can see your current objectives here. So we need to survive for 5 rounds. Alright. So let's order you. Already forgotten. Oh, right, we got the shotgun. Let's order you to deploy coolant at the end of your turn. So we can see what everyone's going to do and make our decisions. Alright. So you're going to shoot at me from here. Right, so we've got 1 hare and 2 wolves. So you're going to shoot at me here and here. We would assume both of these are going to move where I am. So what we can do is we can kind of guarantee ourselves 1 damage prevention by going to... Actually, that's not true, because one of these will be probably the grenade, and the other one will be the gun. Which do I think they will do first? I'm going to go and guess that they're going to use the gun first.
Thank you Liamiko3 for subscribing for 2 months. This just popped up again. I'm only doing this to make it go away.
Alright, thanks Liam for the tier 1 sub. That's too much, but sub to the channel. I do appreciate it. It's all good. Yeah, that happens. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to play a dangerous game. I'm going to fire the missile. And I'm going to fire it... That's fine. I'm going to fire it at this wolf here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my pilot, and I'm going to order them to move to zone. And we're going to assume that it's going to move to me, and I'm going to go ahead and move to this thing, so if it does grenade me on the last turn, at least it does self-damage as collateral. Alright, let's see how this goes. Alright, open up with the gun. Open up with the gun. Don't open up with a grenade. Actually, grenade would be fine. Cool, so we avoided that. We guessed right. So you dash to me, you dash to zone. The good news is neither of them came to me. That was the important detail. We fired the missile. Alright. We managed to get to that whole thing without taking a single hit. Alright, so everyone's going to move around this turn. So let's go ahead and go orders, reload the missile, do that as the very end. I want to see what they're going to do. Alright, so the hare's going to shoot at me at the opener, and then it's going to move. And then you're probably going to move to me and then attack. So what we're going to try to do here... Okay. So what we can do here is I can go to the gunner. Very first thing, we're going to use the shotgun on the target next to me, killing it before it has a chance to do anything. So you're out of the fight. You're all going to move around and do your thing. With that, I no longer need my engineer to be doing smokes and all that. And so with that, I can go to scan, and we can figure out where you're moving. So you're going to dash to me, which means what I can do is, for this wolf down here, we're just going to just leave the tile we're in. Oh, and I don't know what the other one's going to. It's fine. Let's play a game of where do we think the enemy is going to go. So realistically, what that should do is it should come to me, but we're going to assume that's not the case because I have no idea what's going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and say we're going to the south tile on that one, so that we avoid that attack. That finishes you off. And the reason I'm being defensive is we do have to repair ourselves between fights. So it seems like deliberately avoiding damage is in our best interest. And this works out for me because we have a shotgun and a melee attack. So I'm going to murder the living crap out of this mech that's going to be sitting right next to me. Okay, so you're going to try and get away from me really fast. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to go to Orders, Slap. And we're going to slap you and try and kill you immediately. Now I can go here and go to you, Operations, Scan. What do we got here? So you're going to dash to north. So with that in mind, I can go Orders. Okay, so that would be 3 damage. And you're also 3 damage. So I got no reason to not just... Oh, I do have a reason. I have to reload it. Let's go ahead and... We'll have you reload. Let's take the safe bet here. We'll reload your weapon. And then you can go ahead and you'll deploy your coolant. We don't really care when that happens. You're gonna slap the one, killing it. Okay, so you're going to move to me. I assume that's going to be to me. Let's find that out. So, Orders, Scan. Are you moving to me? You're going to dash to the target. This is perfect. And so what we're going to do now then is I'm going to go to you, Orders, Overdrive, do that here, Pilots, Gunner, Order, Shotgun, right in the face. You're not going to get to go, but just in case if something goes wrong, Order, slap it. You thought the goal is to survive, not murder them? Counter argument, what if we just murdered them? And I hit it for 9, killing it in 1 tap. If everything's dead, it can't hurt you. Okay, so we're definitely maxed out the happiness and all them. And our fatigue is slowly climbing, which is a concern. Like, I've been putting a lot of time to try and keep it down as much as possible. Alright, so let's go to you. Oh. Event. Jealousy. Oh, that, like, actually significantly hurt some moods. Look, man, we can repair this relationship. It's okay. We can always get you happy. Come on. Do some DDR. You'll get over it. And then, meanwhile, let's go to the game area, do this. Select character. Because I am seeing if I can't just push you to getting a level in gunnery just to see how much that matters. I've got 4 more tickets. Let's go down to the game area. So where's the way down here? 2nd floor, 1st floor, mech bay, gym, yoga. Yeah, so it looks like it's still you two who, you know, got salty with each other. Yeah, so we got their friendship fixed, and we're improving their overall mood. Alright, so you can go ahead and run over here and get you all squared up here. That was sick. Good job. You really deserve some marbles. Too bad we're low on funds. You know, because the whole racetrack construction thing. Actually, you know what this racetrack needs? A sponsor. This thing's gonna be sick. Every junker will come to Motorhold to watch the race. People may even show up from other parts of the continent. They'll forget about the whole end of the world thing the second they see the first airship fly by. Who wouldn't want their name on a racetrack? Well, there's only one group on this continent with the marbles to pull it off, and that's the Traders Guild. Why don't you go ask if they want to sponsor us? We'll make it worth your while if they say yes. Something special. Alright, so you can go to the gas station and all that stuff. Oh, that's a lot more. Transport needed. Got something easy for you. Just get to this destination quickly. That's it. Supplies are on you. You're the bait, actually. We have a tricky operation run nearby. We need you somewhere else. Making noise and drawing heat. Just don't explode too soon. I mean, some of those are paying a decent amount. Yeah, so we've got 4 missions that are destroy stuff, 1 mission that just go there. So that's like 150, very low difficulty. That's a 2 difficulty, but not paying much. Yeah, but this one's paying a lot more. So I only have 64 bucks because I keep doing work that doesn't pay me. I'm a very bad mercenary. Okay, this will probably be the last fight for this segment of the stream. And all that. I really do, again, appreciate the devs supporting the channel and all that good stuff. This has been a lot of fun. It is a game that I was kind of torn about whether or not I should stream and everything. Like, it is very much a little bit of something different. Oh, you're new. Okay, what the heck is that thing? But I've very much enjoying it. I love the animations. They're really silly and fun. There's just a lot of ridiculous nonsense going on. Okay, so we know they're both going to attack. And I'm judging by the fact that this thing has 2 swords. It's probably like the wolf. Oh, I see the danger. So that's the goblin. The thing is, the goblin's going to get 3 different actions. The wolf only got 2. So let's go ahead and just plan to need to deploy coolant at the end of the turn. So we can bait out whatever your next move is. So one would assume it's going to move to me here. Let's avoid these 2 hits. Alright. Now, I don't know the order of operations on this, because I made a goof in that I deployed smokes here. So I think the reality is what I'm going to need to do is move zones, and I'll plan to move you into the north zone, because I'm assuming you're going to vacate your zone. So to get close... Oh, wait, that actually will work out perfectly. Yeah, so we'll just ignore the sword-wielding whatever it is. Let it do its thing. And then what I'm going to go ahead and do is orders, and that should work. Okay, that'll work. So plan's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to avoid the melee. I'm going to avoid the goblin, deploy the smoke to avoid getting shot the crap out of by the rabbit, shotgun the rabbit in the face, and then deploy coolant. Alright, so apparently it's Mr. Mime with swords. I do love that they do like the intense thing. Oh, I see. Because I smoked the tile, I made it so it dodged me. Oh good, they friendly fired each other. Okay, so you're not going to get a chance to do anything here, so let's reload your bullets. Alright. So you've got one more move left. So the goblin could certainly move and get the attack here. But I'm also not going to get a hit in. Well, actually, no, we can make this work. We're going to go order. Oh, wait, never mind. The gunner's not going to do anything. Alright, so basically here's the problem I have. This goblin has one more move yet. It's got 2 attack phases, and so it could move here and land both hits. It could move between here and land this hit. So it could stay here and backhand the ranged one, but there's no guarantee it's going to still be standing there. Now, what I can do is let's go ahead and go orders, deploy smoke, do that, wait to see where you move. So you're going to move on your first turn. Let's go orders. Let's see if we can play a game of guess where you're going to go. I'm going to guess east. And we're going to try and catch where we land where the rabbit's going to land. So that next turn I can shotgun it immediately. You, on the other hand, don't have a whole lot to do, so just, you know what, deploy cool and why not. Alright, so not a whole lot's going to happen this turn. Oh, I moved too early. I'm gonna eat two hits here. I moved too early, so I moved and then they moved to meet me. Alright, let's try and deal with this. So we're going to immediately open up shotgunning that thing. Alright. And I'm going to follow it by slapping it and finishing it off. They're going to be eating hits here. Oh, you're going to actually move? That's not part of the plan, man. It's against the law. We have no smokes left. How dare you? Yeah, it'll be... Well, no, actually that might work out, because it might move towards me, and if it moves towards me, it's just going to stay where it's at. So we might actually be okay with that. But like I said, we are going to eat hits here. There's not a whole lot I can do about it. We're basically trading, getting rid of the goblin with the intent of, yeah, so we got rid of the goblin, but that does mean I am going to eat at least one hit from the rabbit. Okay, so you're going to attack immediately on the opening, which means I cannot avoid it. Let's go to this and have you deploy coolant as your last move. So let's see if you move here. So you're going to use special, which that's your reload. So in that case, what we're going to go ahead and do is the driver is going to move themselves over to you. So that next turn, that's not what I want to do. Don't do that. We're going to have you fire your missile immediately on the opener. Then we're going to go to you. We're going to have you move you to the zone. At this, like, it could be like right by the end. We don't care when it happens. So right after the missile. And I'm going to scan just because you have nothing better to do with your time. Alright. So this is the battle we've taken more damage than any other battle so far. We've been knocked down to about half health now. So you've got 3 health. So let's immediately go orders, slap, finish it. Pilots, gunner, orders, reload bullets. You're not gonna get to do anything this turn. Order, reload the missile because you got nothing better to do with this turn. And you just stand there and look pretty, I guess. I don't know. Okay. So we got people's moods getting back up. We got a lot of people close to getting their first level. Alright. And let me just... Your mech is severely damaged. Deploying a damaged mech reduces your starting hull points. Repair it before your next battle by spending scraps. Yeah, no, I did... I went aggressive on a couple of those hits. Oh, actually, you're only going to be down 5 hit points. I'm still going to repair you because... Ow. Ow. That costs like... Oh. Okay, up. This UI here, I am constantly clicking the wrong thing. Oh, have 2 pilots become best friends. Alright. And let's try and fix where you two were arguing. It does make me curious because you can also go for rivalries. It does make me curious how much that, like, would work there. Alright. You've almost ranked up. Okay, like I said, I want to just quickly turn that in. And then, like I said, we'll probably put like a poll to see what we're doing next. But again, I really do appreciate the devs supporting the channel. This has been a lot of fun. The animations are ridiculous and a blast. See, whatever we hope to achieve out there, we still need marbles. We've got to get paid. We need to stay active. At the very least, we need better parts. Alright. But yeah, so I very much enjoyed it. Like, the story is a little bit interesting. I mentioned when it happened, the city getting destroyed was kind of like a big holdup, which, again, makes me really curious that they're like, hey, whatever you do, there's a mission called Railgun. You know, don't play past that because spoiler. And the fact that the city just, like, blowing up in her face was not the thing they were worried about as a spoiler. Interesting to me. But yeah, the animations are really cool. I really enjoy it. And the fact that these aren't these characters that are, like, pre-generated or whatever. Like, you don't have, you know, like, Cloud and Tifa or whatever. These are characters we custom made, and they have all the animations going through all that, which is pretty cool to have all that, so you can make all your different areas. They're all anime-esque characters. We didn't get to see too much in the variety of the parts. There was some pretty cool parts, but, like, we need to raise more money to be able to do that. I saw that there is at least 3 different mechs that you get as well. No idea at all what the difference is between the mechs, because all of these are mentioning there for the monkey. So like that's this thing here, that's the mech we have. And we did see, actually let's not there. It was here somewhere. Yeah. Okay, so this is still monkey. Yeah, so like we've only seen the monkey, but we did see at the beginning there were 2 other mechs that were locked that I wasn't allowed to grab, which is because I'm assuming I haven't seen them in the game ever. And so one would assume I'd go to a mech workshop like this and be able to switch my mech over to a different one that would have some other setup or style and all that with its own animations and everything. But like, the animations are a lot of fun. I do wonder if, you know, after you've played for 100 or so hours, if those animations would still be as fun. So far, every single time, like, it's just see them like climbing to the cockpit and how like over the top the facial expressions and all that has just been comical to me. So I've been very much enjoying it. It hasn't gone to the point where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm worried about this like in the moment or whatever. But yeah, no, it's been a lot of fun. The inside the lander, because I'm not sure if you saw earlier on, there was like, so there's the mech bay, the starting floor is like mech bay, first floor, second floor, third floor, I think it was. And then there was like sub areas of, I believe, the third floor. So it looks like there's a lot of every areas, and each one seemed to have like 2, oh, and there's the gym, like 2 or 3 activities on it, and I only had some of those unlocked. And we did see that the general store here had the toolbox, which I believe unlocks one of those areas. But my assumption of what you do here is you just run around doing your contracts just to make extra money, and then, you know, like when you feel good, you'd advance the story and all that. But I really enjoyed it. A lot, I shouldn't say a lot more than I expected. I didn't expect to not enjoy it or anything like that. But it definitely has been a different thing. I haven't seen that combat bar on the bottom where like things happen in those phases. It could be something that I haven't kept up with the genre and is just a normal thing now. But I really liked that. And for the most part, I feel like I played well around it, other than that last fight. But with that said, that's going to be the end of the sponsored segment of the stream. Because I'm also worried that we're probably getting close to whenever the point is that I have to like be like, all right, we have to stop. You know, and I've done all that stuff, but definitely it's a game that I could see playing a lot more on my own time. As Steam Achievements, it's a 1.0, it's not the early access version or anything like that. They do have it for sale, like right now. We do have the link on the channel that, again, I don't get a kickback for that, that's not the point. But if you do click on those links for content creators when we are sponsored, clicking on those links let the devs know that you found the game here. And it just really helps us get future opportunities that help us pay our bills and keep doing full-time content creation. So with that said, what's going to end up happening is those over on YouTube, I am going to be ending the YouTube side of the stream for right now, and it'll come back up as something else. But in the meantime, I'm going to put a poll on the Twitch side about what we're doing next, and we're going to see what we're doing for the rest of the stream. What time is it anyways? Okay, so we got about 2.5 hours or so left of stream. So we can probably get it, like, we won't be able to get into something big, but we can definitely do some different things. Let's go